All right, we have Tyson Nam back on the show. He returns to action next Saturday in Auckland, New Zealand. Takes on KaiKara-France. Great fight at 125 pounds. Tyson, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I really love the matchup that they gave me. For this time around.
Getting ready to put another little stamp on the old passport. How many of those stamps do you think you have at this point?
More fingers and more toes than I got.
Wow, man, you are a world traveler for sure, but the days and the minutes are ticking away as you get prepared for your second fight in the hallowed UFC Octagon. How has the camp been going? How are you feeling as we're less than 2 weeks away from this one?
Feel real good. Everything's been going great. Started off, visited Team Oyama. A week or two shortly after that, I had Ricky Simone come down and help me out, as well as all of the guys down here at Hawaii Lead. That we always help each other every single day here. So everything's going according to plan, and I should be ready come February 22nd here in the U.S., 23rd there in New Zealand.
You're a guy, and you sort of touch on this. You've worked so hard to get to this place in your career, to finally get in the UFC. And when we spoke prior to your last fight, you wanted all the smoke. You wanted the toughest fight you could get. You go from Sergio to KaiKara-France. Fair to say, after the Pettis fight, which we're going to get into in a moment, seeing KaiKara-France's name had to fire you up, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, his fight with his last fight with Brandon Moreno, man, it was a really good fight. I was like, yeah, that's the type of fight I wanna be fighting, and that's the type of schoolyard brawl that I like to see myself getting into the octagon with. So yeah, number 5 to number 8, two top 10 contenders in the back to back. Either somebody likes me or somebody hates me.
Let's talk about that night in Mexico City, the fight with Sergio Pettis. I mean, it didn't go your way, but I did see, via social media and stuff, you did impress a lot of people in that fight. It was closer, in my opinion, than the 30-27 scorecards indicated. And I'm sure you weren't thrilled with the results, but were you at least able to take away a lot in that fight? Any positives, especially in a sport where the fighters, probably yourself, are very self-critical?
Yeah, I got outpointed, plain and simple. Points do count in this sport, but from when I first started, ever since I was a little kid, I've never threw a punch for a point. I've always tried to, take a head off, but it is a sport, and points do count, and simple as that. I just got outpointed. That's all. I came in my UFC debut and I wanted a knockout so bad. I think I was hunting a little bit too hard for a knockout, and wasn't realizing that there is a scorecard as well.
Was the walk to the octagon, all of that, something you had hoped would happen for so long throughout your career? Did it sort of live up to what you expected it to be? What was that like after finally getting that opportunity to make that first walk out there?
Man, fighting for the UFC, I mean, it goes above and beyond any expectation that you could ever experience. It's such a well-oiled machine. Everything is run so smoothly and right down to the second. So, but making the walk, I've made it many a times in a big promotion, just not as big as the UFC. But I mean, it was familiar. It was similar. I didn't have too much jitters, so it was just like another. It was I treated it as like it was another day in the life for me. So it wasn't overly overwhelmed or anything of that sort.
The night of that fight with Pettis ended in just such a horrible way after the main event and the Stevens Rodriguez fight and how the fans reacted. Were you gone from the building by that time, or did you stick around?
No, I was gone from the building, but even after that, when I seen it, and even at the hotel, I think they had a little altercation. Oh, almost had a altercation as well too, and we were there to see people running around, but yeah, I guess they really don't like each other.
They had a great fight in Boston too, but just knowing that you fought a couple of hours before that all went down, how did you react to it? Were you just like, oh my God, this is insane?
Another day for me. We see that all the time here in Hawaii. Go down to the store, you'll see the exact same thing. It's fine. It's fine. Just people, people don't like each other. People want to punch and kick each other. No biggie.
I meant more from the fans. You see that a lot in Hawaii?
We see it everywhere. Hawaii over here, we're not too shy from physical violence.
From a stylistic perspective, especially watching that, you mentioned the fight with Brandon Moreno, which was just an absolute barn burner. How do you like this fight on paper from a stylistic perspective with KaiKara-France? Because to me, just looking at it, it's fireworks.
Oh yeah, he's got a big right hand. I've got a big right hand, and we're probably gonna meet up in the middle and see whose right hand is bigger. So as his nickname says, don't blink. You probably wanna stay in your seat. Don't grab a beer. Don't grab any popcorn. Just sit there and watch.
Do you feel like Brandon exposed anything in that fight that will give you an advantage next Saturday? I mean, you don't have to give them away here, but did you see anything there that helped you?
I I've watched that fight. I've watched a couple of fights. There's a couple of things that we're probably working on that hopefully will work. I mean, you never know, right? Because everybody style changes just a little bit, just according to their opponent. So we got a good idea in mind, but once they lock that cage door and the bell rings, shit always flies out the window. So we'll see what works.
Flyweight has gotten quite a bit interesting over the last couple of months, because at the end of this month, we're going to have a new champion of the division with Benavidez and Figueiredo about to go at it in Norfolk. Does this excite you as a member of this division that's still sort of being rebuilt and constantly puts on these great fights? Every time 125 pounds is showcased, that we're going to see some fresh matchups and a bit of a changing at the guard up top.
Yeah, the flyweight division has always been a exciting division. Now that it's coming around, I guess people didn't enjoy it too much because you got these two little guys moving around real quick, and there wasn't a lot of one punch, one strike knockouts like you'll see like in the bigger weight classes. But now that we are knocking each other out, people are paying attention a little bit more. We got fast guys that don't get too tired, and everybody wants to see a knockout, which is what we're bringing. And as for Benavidez, Figueiredo, I probably knock both of those fools out. So it's an exciting time in this division.
How do you get this thing done next Saturday against KaiKara-France? What are sort of the expectations that you've set for yourself to play spoiler for KaiKara-France in front of his home people?
Like I said, I never punch for points. I only punch for knockouts. And, I got a pretty good track record of going over to someone's hometown and getting a lot of boos from the fans afterwards.
Get a lot of boos? Maybe they'll turn into cheers, though. I don't even know if you care about that, but...
Usually it's like half boos, half cheers, but people always come around. They always come around.
There you go. When do you head out to Auckland?
Auckland, I will be leaving February 16th. That'll be a Sunday here up in the U.S., and I think we'll arrive over there on Tuesday because we'll lose a day, but we got everything according to plan to our time schedule, so everything is running pretty smoothly.
Have you been to New Zealand before?
I haven't. Closest I've been there was Australia a couple of times, and I want to hear good things about it. And I'm pretty sure it's pretty similar to Hawaii with the culture, the people. There's a lot of Polynesians there, so I probably won't feel too far away from home.
Is there anything you're looking forward to doing out there outside of obviously winning next Saturday? But are you going to have time to go see some things, experience the culture a little bit?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to stay there a couple of days afterwards. I want to do a little bit of sightseeing. I mean, you go somewhere to a different country where you're not used to, you got to go and see the sights. I really love enjoying different cultures and see how different people live in different parts of the world. That's one of the greatest things about traveling for work is just experiencing all of that.
I would agree with that 100%. And last thing for me, and I appreciate the time very much. For those who do not follow you on Instagram, you have a sponsorship with Manscaped. And I have to know, outside of the ones that you clearly shoot yourself, who gets the inevitable task of filming your Manscaped promo videos? For instance, there's one of you over the toilet. You hear the buzzing. We know what's going on there. Who says, you know what, Tyson? I'll film that for you.
during that time, Ricky Simone was chosen just because he was over here out in Hawaii and had to do his duties. Since I flew him over, he had to shoot a couple of videos for me.
How does he react to getting that ask?
Shut up and do it.
Well, go get that money, man, however you can get it. Tyson Nam returns to action next Saturday against KaiKara-France at UFC Auckland. Awesome fight, 125 pounds. Really looking forward to it. Tyson, before we let you go, man, let the folks know where they can find and follow you on the web, social media, any shout-outs, anything else you want to get off your chest, and how can people save money with you on their grooming products?
Check me out, Namino11 on top of Instagram, and I believe Twitter is plain old Tyson Nam. But yeah, click the link in my bio. Make sure everything's all trimmed up, nice and groomed. Your partner will like you, and as the hashtag says, we save balls.
Thank you, Tyson. All the best to you on the 22nd, man.
All right, thank you very much.